Hello, friends. In this episode, I'll be sharing some insight into managing top clubs and its operations. We all understand and we have the knowledge that there are 3 to 4 types of football clubs. Professional clubs, those who play in a top professional league and wherever there are professional leagues, and that's where the professional clubs thrive and grow. Then there are semi-professional clubs, then amateur clubs, and in some cases there are community clubs as well. So all these clubs' existence, progress depends upon which geography these clubs are and the maturity of football structure there. In every footballing structure, there might not be professional clubs, but in a very mature footballing structure, there will be many professional clubs because the competition, the league structure are vibrant, thriving, and there is a lot of engagement around the club and the league. In my talk, I'll be stressing more on how to run the club, a professional club, successfully, and what it takes to run, manage, operate a professional club successfully. A professional club, there are 3 core elements to manage and operate. The first part is the sporting aspect of the club. The second aspect is its business aspect. And the third aspect is the community, the fans, the stakeholders. Let's come to the first core function of a professional club, the sporting aspect. The sporting aspect is all about the team, the first team, the B team, the reserve side maybe, and then the youth sides, the academies, your training centers, recruitment of players, and who should be managing the team, the manager, the chief coach, head coach at different levels, the support staff, the whole team of analytics, what should be the game philosophy, how a player should be developed. So therefore all these aspects come into the sporting aspect of professional club, and most cases the sporting directors are there. In some aspect there are technical directors are there. In some there are the manager itself manages a lot of aspect in the sporting side of the club. Again, depending upon which level the club is, which division, which layer in the league structure the club is, the whole functionality differs. And then it is again part of the strategy of overall club functions, like where the club wants to be, where it wants to reach to the title winning position, to be a top contender, winning the title, winning the trophies, at what level, in a domestic level, at a continental level, and at the world stage. Therefore this strategy is key driver in terms of recruiting the right manager, right sporting director, recruiting the right kind of players, depending upon the philosophy of the club and the manager which comes in, there is a kind of a collaboration agreement that this is the philosophy we will drive our first team and reserve side and the whole development initiative in terms of player development from the youth to the elite, how the whole philosophy of the game as well as the player development will be taken care in a short term, medium term and long term perspective. That's how a system is set in a club, in a professional club, in the sporting aspect. And the targets are defined and goals are very well cleared to everyone who are associated with the club, from the management to the sporting director to the manager to the assistant coaches, support staff. And that is where the club puts the hard work, allocates resources, because it is again the strategic side decides if we are going for a title, what's the investment required, what kind of players required, and season to season. It is not that the recruitment just happens for one the season only. One looks into medium term, short term, medium term to long term, and how the players can come in and at what level and where and when those players can be traded, transferred as well. So the whole philosophy is again is very important. The strategy is very important, and it is not easy. When there are no strategy, when there are no philosophy, when there are no plans, and some cases, some clubs think that it's only the first team which needs to be taken care and all the investment goes there without any plans, without any strategy, and that is where some struggles, the crisis comes in. So let's move to the next core function, that is the business aspect of the club. This is where the cost, the revenue side is taken care, and there is key persons who manages this, from a CEO to chief commercial officer to different manpower, those professionals who deal with it. What kind of revenue can come in from the broadcasting rights, which is from the league side, how much revenue one can get depending upon the position you attain, depending upon the share you get from the broadcasting right year on year, and that is all in a matured league setup. A club knows that this is the revenue, this is the percentage of revenue, whether 20%, 30% or a 40% level, and it will vary. If you are in a Premier League, that would vary in some 100 millions to depending upon the level you reach in the league table as well. And then if you are in a different geography where the league doesn't command that kind of broadcasting revenue, then the shares will not be of that level. So this is all calculated, this is all planned, and this is one major share of revenue which the professional clubs looks into. And the second category is the commercial revenue, the sponsorship, licensing, merchandising, and different part are there. And your kit partner, your transport partner, your beverage partner. There are so many things where most elements are cash, some are kind, and that's how the commercial revenue pool is planned. And a club need to be very strategic in terms of how it can attract maximum commercial revenue in season 2 season, 3 season, 4 season. Yeah? And that is where the big clubs attract revenue, say in the range of say some 20%, some 30%, some even 50%, the commercial revenue pool in the overall revenue side. And in this, there can be other revenue possibilities in commercial side, your infrastructure, your assets, what you have built, how you are monetizing those assets. And these are also key, whether the club has got the required infrastructure to monetize. Again, the big clubs demonstrates how they monetize their key assets, and that's the revenue side. The match day revenue, which is your ticketing, hospitality, and the stadium related business activities which are there. And these three primarily consist of the revenue pool for a club. And business side is not that, oh, it's just casual. No, this is again very strategic. Your business plan determines what actions you will take, how you will communicate, how you will market your product, how will you promote all activities, how you engage with your fans. These are all written, this is all planned, meticulous, and that is where the clubs move and penetrate into the hearts and minds of its core fans, and makes also new fans. And today the clubs are not restricted to one geography, limited geography. It is global. Yeah? The big clubs we see, whether Barcelona, Real Madrid, Liverpool, Man City, Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea, whether PSG, Bayern Munich, these all big clubs, their geographies are not limited to their core locality. It is beyond their countries, and it's global. And that's where we see more global fans attending the games, and the broadcasting value of those leagues are in high demand beyond those countries. And that is where clubs promote and package and position itself. And whichever geography you are in a certain league setup, this business plan is very important. How you plan it very practically, realistically, and what kind of revenue one can get, and then you clearly give to through the CFO, through the CEO and the board, the money which one can put in the recruitment of players, the wages, and the development activities. And this is all planned. And if it is not planned, then the club is going towards disaster, crisis, and the sustainability factor of the club will be in danger. And that is what we see in many geographies where clubs are not able to sustain itself, and it is the club owners are putting their own money and kind of writing off those losses, and which is not sustainable. And the time comes, those owners or whoever was putting the money in the club will raise his or her hand and say, no more, I cannot sustain beyond this point. And that is where it is very important how a club can create asset, tangible assets, and do the right thing in terms of recruitment, in terms of salary spends, in terms of expenses. And if it is not kind of matching with the revenue side, then it is reaching to a crisis. And at the end, all the bad news comes. So X and Y club have decided to stop its club, and it will be not participating in a particular league, and that is really tragic. And again, the financial part, the business side again depends upon the fan size. In some geographies we experience that there are startup clubs which come and they try to reach to the top of the pyramid, wants to target the title, and they sometimes achieve success, but they don't invest in key areas, creating assets, creating infrastructure, and so that it can reach to a sustainable model in the time to come. And that is where you are always, it's a ticking bomb. Anytime the owner might decide that I can't invest into the club more and more because I'm not able to sustain it, and that is the problem. And today, see, the big clubs, global leagues, are attracting private equity funds, venture capitalists are investing into the leagues and the clubs, and that is why this is happening. There are investors coming in, there are change of ownership. Frequently we read about it. There are more investment going from Asia to Europe as well. There are, in some cases, it's a branding exercise. In many cases, it is a business decision. And these are all lucrative deals, big deals, because the club has got tangible assets and there is valuation based on that. The players are definitely assets, but then they have a period. They are not there for, as for 20 years, 30 years, or even 10 years. Yeah. They will move out. Yeah. And you can monetize the players depending upon the contracts period. If you're going to sell off players at the right time before the expiry of the contract, there are clubs who sustain on transfer market. Yeah. And this is one of the revenue, which is again part of the commercial plan, how you plan this. The last part of the core function of a club is managing the fans, the community, and the stakeholders. It's not only about the social aspect of or corporate social responsibility aspect. It is more than that. How the fans are one of the key stakeholders in the game, and they need to be engaged in the right way, and the clubs need to invest in the community to be together with that community, bring everyone together. The community should see value in the club, and the value creation the club does with the investment in the community and in the grassroots level, in different social aspects of the community, and keeping the fans together and engaging in the right way. And the fans are the real power in the club, and their presence on every match day determines its success as well. If the club can attract capacity crowd in the stadium, that means it is engaging with the fans in the right way, with having the right approach. Again, it is strategic. So therefore, three elements need to function optimally in a given point of time and in a season and season after season. And you need to really look into every aspect with the third eye, so that you are critically analyzing everything, and then from when to sell a player, when to recruit a player based on what the team needs and the targets of the team. So therefore, running a club, a professional club, is a complex. It's not easy. Smart stadiums, and the clubs are investing, building new stadiums, because if the fans are not able to get the right environment while they are in the match, they will not be able to come back. And that is why it is not about increasing the seats, it's about providing the right kind of amenities to the fans. And they are the key stakeholder for the game, and that is why we see most smart stadiums coming, and more clubs, big clubs, are trying to renovate and also building new stadiums, where it is not only about providing those amenities functionally. Those stadiums are gives that level of atmosphere for broadcasting, and also giving that experience to everyone that this is a place one should come on the match day. If you are not coming, you are missing something big. So that experiences what the club creates is where the value creation happens, and that is where the competitive advantage the clubs are creating. We look and experience and see many clubs in different geographies where the football is not at the matured state. There, the clubs are only thinking short term, and that is where the key investments, what they bring in, it's most of the time going into waste. It is not creating asset, and if you don't have the asset, you will not be able to monetize, and that's how you will not be able to attract higher revenue. And that's the product what you create is very important, and sustaining that product is again strategic. My message to everyone, those who are running professional club or those who want to go and invest into the professional club at whichever geographies you are thinking, whichever league you are thinking, again, be strategic, build a business plan, see where you are entering, what you are going to get it, what is the investment required, how you manage the funds, and that way you will reach to the success. And my best wishes to all the clubs who are putting hard work in developing football, and every week we see clubs are one of the most important pillars of football globally, and what they do is kind of magic. That is where football comes alive every week. And these are the fans who really make football big through their presence, their emotions, their energy, their passion. And that's how we see a lot of stars. They become role models, and we need more role models from football, because we are living in this era where the kids, the children, they need the right direction, and therefore football can play an important role, and the clubs are fundamental part where they sign the right player, they train, they develop, they give the knowledge, and they create star. And their work showcases on the pitch. This is what all I am sharing today on this episode, and in my next episode I'll be sharing about other types of club, how one should manage and operate it. I am limiting today with these words, with these key areas or functions of the top professional club. Thank you. Keep watching my videos, and please subscribe to my channel, Blue Mic, and please don't forget to like. Thank you. God bless.